Good afternoon. I'm State Representative Mike Marron from the 104th District, which includes parts of Vermilion and Champaign counties. I've always tried to take a reasoned and measured approach to the budget. I can remember in my first term back in 2019 when I gave my first response to the governor's very first budget address. The very first thing I did was praise him for making education spending a priority. I say that because I want to make the point that I'm approaching this from a very reasonable position. And quite frankly, there's nothing that I'd like better than at some point to be able to vote yes on one of the governor's budgets. Unfortunately, it's not going to be this year. First, this budget, despite what the governor and the Democratic leaders tell you, is not balanced. The Democrats of Illinois showed the people their true colors over the last 3 years, increasing legislative pay over 25%, spending by over 25% in this budget compared to when I started 5 years ago, and resorting to the old Madigan playbook of hiding taxes and fees and special budget tricks masking the true colors of their spending for months. This budget excludes a means to pay for hundreds of millions of dollars in pay increases for hardworking union employees that are scheduled to receive those increases in the upcoming fiscal year. This not only puts a significant gap in the FY24 budget, it also fails to determine how we are going to take care of our state employees. This budget will make up a severe revenue shortfall by taking over $700 million from local governments by decreasing the personal property replacement tax disbursements. I always get tongue-tied with that. At a time when we continue to put unfunded mandates onto our local governments, we demand more and more of them, all the while we are cutting revenue streams. And we do this because we decided to promise to spend money from tax revenues that have never materialized. The second main reason to oppose this budget is because it places a burden on the taxpayers of the state. The governor has been running around Illinois for the last 2 years selling a bill of goods about being fiscally responsible. All of this while failing to acknowledge the real reason for the brief improvement in our fiscal situation. That reason has always been increased tax revenues due to the massive inflation that our citizens are dealing with and experiencing. Two things are undeniably true about our current inflation-fueled situation. One, while inflation has increased our revenues, it has also increased our expenses, which we have always failed to account for. The chickens will soon be coming home to roost for neglecting that fact, and the consequences are going to be very severe for the state of Illinois. The second truth is that while we've enjoyed increased revenues to the Treasury, it's happened on the backs of our hardworking citizens through a significant increase in the cost of living, in the cost of food, energy prices, medicine, fuel. And now, when our citizens continue under increasing pressure of higher prices, we are letting lapse hundreds of millions of dollars in tax breaks that we passed last year. This greatly adds to the pressure that the citizens of the state of Illinois are facing. And the best reason the Democrats have to give us for these exuberant tax increases is for items like giving free health care to undocumented workers and a 5% legislative pay increase. This pay increase is a whole 2% above the automatic cost of living that we would have gotten as legislators if we'd done nothing. And this is on top of about a 15% increase that we rammed through in the dark of night back in January during the lame duck session. The Democrats should be ashamed of what they're doing to the hardworking people of the state of Illinois. Illinois doesn't have a revenue problem yet, but after this legislative session, we are giving a huge closed for business message to all of our employers. Soon, Illinois will not only have a revenue problem, but a spending addiction that will greatly hurt our state. It is time to stop playing these partisan games and actually get a handle on our spending. We need budget reforms now, and we must start working through this insatiable addiction to spending being our means of taxing our citizens out of this state.